We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, having an explosive move after finding support here at key resistance levels and support areas and bouncing over the 405 resistance that we've talked about, heading towards almost 410. We need to talk about what's going on here, and within today's volatility, our SPY bot at 1:35 p.m. sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows had crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up a whopping 1000% plus within an hour, guys. And you could see it popping up there on the screen. It went up higher than that based off the Weibo numbers there and how high those call options went. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So the SPY here had a big move after the beige books and everything that Jerome Powell had to state. We're gonna look at this article here together that just came out today. But before we break it all down, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunities that were mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home runs of the day were spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the first home run of the day was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot sent out a bull indicator at 1:35 p.m. and from that moment forward, the inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 300% plus within an hour, guys. Our second home run, we caught this one early on in the pre-market, pulling downwards. We were not going to chase this one. We were looking for inflows to pick back up, and it was MYO pulling downwards after the bell. It found support, double bottom there, and you could see it bringing itself back up. The inflows crossed the midpoint, full strength on 42 vision, and hit a highest point of 20% plus within minutes, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index. It had hit two dip area days here back on November 28th and also here on the 29th. And today it did not hit any more dip areas. It was trying to fight and get itself out of here. It did a double bottom here if you look at it very closely based off 393. And I talked about that being a crucial support. And if that got broken through, then we needed to watch 390 and 385. But if it brought itself back up, 397 was crucial, then 399, 400, and above 400, 403, 405, and we are way past that up here at 408. If it's your first time coming across the channel, white with red borders is what we call the dip area based off 42 vision, and bright green bars is the rip area, and it allows us to see the dips from the rips and the rips to the dips, as well as we use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as extra layers of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up now, and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY on the 30-minute. It was sitting sideways and the inflows were trying to hold up. They slightly crossed below here on the 30-minute, but they slowed down. And if you go into the volatility here of the 15-minute, you could see that during the same time the inflows were trying to pick up here, they did not cross until later. And if you look at the 5-minute, same thing, right? Those inflows were actually trying to pick up and they crossed way earlier than the 15-minute and then the 30-minute. And it could tell you within the volatility what's going on the smaller time frames that are a little bit more volatile and on the larger time frames. And here you have it, that once they cross, momentum started to pick up. Bull indicator there has extra layer of confirmation. This was the last dip area. Found support around that same area from yesterday. W effect, double bottom, and it got that full strength there going into a rip area. And this is probably one of the largest moves that we've seen the SPY have in days and weeks, right? Since way back here on November 10th. And I've always emphasized we're watching here to see if we hit a dip area, full quick transition followed by a bull indicator and inflow crossover, so we could see if there was going to be a big move like that one or to the downside. And here we have it, right? There's the big move. Now, why did the markets move like this and this quickly? Well, let's go ahead and look at this article together. And it's pretty straightforward, right? States here, stock market news, live updates. The stocks rise as Powell signals slower rate hike pace. Now, this had not been said by him. Now, when we saw all of this going on, right, all this pricing in of coming back up from near the 52-week low and so forth, and coming back up to these levels, and this big move here, and every single big move from way down here in the 350s, 348, and 360s has been due to the fact that different Fed members have came out and stated, we are looking to possibly go ahead, quote unquote, slow down the rate hikes. We're not going to stop, but we're going to slow down. Jay Powell has not come out and stated it verbally himself. He's always stated he's looking to, and it's in the works and plans, but now he stated today, and it states it right here, that it makes sense to moderate the pace of our rate increases as the Fed heads towards its estimated peak in benchmark interest rates, okay? Now, just because there's a slowdown, it does not mean that we can't be in for a surprise in the future, right? A lot of bears are stating that the markets have not priced in any of these rate hikes, how they can affect the economy, as well as impact the revenue growth, right? And net profits of companies, which could create, quote unquote, an earnings recession, right? Which would mean that companies are going to miss earnings and fall naturally, right? And their PE ratios are going to get condensed, and their value of now, right, compared to their growth in the future is going to go ahead and reflect in the charts. And that can affect the SPY and the overall market. We haven't gotten there yet. We need to see how earnings is going to be here Q4 and then everything going into Q1 of 2023. But right now, in these moments, the whole entire market is euphoric about the fact that we're not going to see any more 0.75s, and the rate hikes that were aggressive, quote unquote, are behind us. So we need to talk about what just happened here in the charts and what to look for going into tomorrow. So the first level that I'm watching here is actually the resistance levels. If you zoom out here, the inflows pick back up. We talked about how this was coming closer towards the midpoint, and once it crossed over, we wanted to watch how strong it could go up. And based off the history of the chart, it went as high as 15, not guaranteed to do the same move, but we were watching to see if that was possible. And today it went as high as 13.56. Now, based off the history of the chart, 410 is a key level to 412 to watch here, right? And above that would be 415, guys. I think that is a very pivotal level. You could see right there at that 415 mark way back here in September with that bear indicator popped up here on the 1 hour. That is going to be a key resistance level, and above that is 420, guys. We need to see how that's going to play out. This is a huge strong recovery so far on the SPY, and some people are stating it could be a big trap, or some are stating it may continue to go higher, right? The speculation is on the table right now. What I've been doing all year, and I've stated this before, I believe volatility is here to stay, and I take it day by day and try to maximize within the moves presented in the charts, right? So on the 1 hour, we're back above here, and I'm going to be watching, could it continue with these inflows back above 15 or even higher on the inflows, as we're sitting right now at 13.5. We're well above here, or is it going to slow down and go ahead and do something like this, or even slightly pull back? So if it pulls back, as long as it stays above the midpoint, there's still a lot of strength in the chart, right? It could be a healthy setup before the next bull run, as I like to call it. And that's what I was calling this right here as we were pulling back. If it found support, this could be the healthy setup before the next bull run. And here we are. And that happened very, very fast. I mean, these moves, you would expect it in a 2-day move, 3-day move, all happen in a few hours. So now we really need to watch, is it a big trap or is it just the beginning of the next leg up to even go higher, right? So when you go ahead and look at this here on the 30-minute, you could see how inflows have slowed down. They've slowed down here. The inflows crossed over, and we need to watch here as it's sitting at 15.98, and it's very high up here. The highest point that we've seen is 15.5 in the last several weeks and months. If you zoom out, this is some of the highest points of inflows that we've seen in a long time. So we need to see, is it going to slow down and have a slight pullback, or is it going to continue to go higher above 15.98 on the inflows of the 30-minute? But when you go into the 15-minute, things have started to slow down. This is a huge amount of inflows all at once. So super important to watch this, how the 15-minute is going to react. Is it going to continue to pull down lower? Will it even cross the midpoint? Because if it does, it could start rolling over into the 30-minute and start reflecting into the chart. So to the downside, we talked about the upside, right? 410, 415, 420. To the upside, we got that out of the way. But to the downside, the first support that I'm watching here is going to be 405, as we're slightly above it now at 408. And below that is 403 and then 400, guys. For this to actually show that the bulls have strength here, they're going to fight to try to stay above 400. It's a psychological level right now in the charts and in the history of the chart. And if it gets below it, the bears are going to put up a fight to bring it back down to 390s or even lower. So something to not ignore. Those are the key levels I'm watching. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.